Yesterday we had started with chapter number 18, natural resources, minerals, energy, plants and wildlife. Yesterday we completed mineral resources. We had discussed about a lot about mineral, its definition, classification, mining, the sources, distribution of the minerals. Then different minerals occupy the minerals found, the most important minerals found in the world. Then finally we discussed about the conservation of resources. Today we will discuss about the energy resources. Let us learn about some of the energy resources found in the world and its use. What is energy? Energy is the capacity to do a work. We are not talking about the human energy, we are talking about the energy used in the industries and all. Okay, there are three forms in which energy can be obtained. Number one, direct heating energy. Number two, electricity. Number three, the energy stored in the form of batteries. These are the three ways of getting energy. It is electricity, that is what the most important form of energy, and we will learn about electricity now. Produced from it is, the electricity is produced in large power plants. The place where it is produced is known as power plant. There are different ways in which electricity can be produced. Number one, we can use steam to produce electricity, which is known as thermal electricity. Then number two, we can use electricity, we can produce electricity by nuclear fissions, nuclear reactions, that is known as nuclear energy, where uranium is the most important raw material used. Number three is electricity produced by running water, falling water from the waterfalls, that is known as hydroelectricity. Then there are some other forms of electricity like geothermal energy, solar energy, wind energy, etc. And the energy which is produced, the electricity which is produced, is transmitted through the network of power lines. These power lines, this network of power lines is called the grid, and that is sent to distant places. Thus we are able to get the electricity in our houses, shops, factories, etc. During this process, during the process of transmission, what happens? Power is lost, wastage occurs during the process of transmission. The consumption of energy varies greatly in different places like developing and developed countries. If you have comparison of USA and India, you can see that USA has 14% of the world population, but it consumes 25% of the world energy, and that their per capita consumption, the consumption of energy by a person, is 20 times more than that of India. Means they are consuming a lot of energy, but in India we are consuming very less amount of energy. In the world we can see that most of the energy consumed in the world is produced by coal, petroleum or natural gas. These coal, petroleum and natural gas are known as fossil fuels because they have formed from the fossil fuels, decayed parts of the fossil fuels they have formed. And now we will learn about this coal, petroleum and natural gas. Okay, coal is found in the sedimentary rock. It occurs in the sedimentary rock. It has formed due to the submergence of forest. What happens? Forest products, particularly the plants and animals, they have submerged under the ground. As a result, coal has been formed. Petroleum and natural gas are usually found in association with each other, which means that we can find petroleum and natural gas together. Along with petroleum, natural gas also occur. Okay, they are formed by the fossils and the remains trapped beneath a layer of impermeable rocks. When drilled and pumped, they come out the surface. They are formed from the fossils, and they have been found along with the rocks. They are mined or drilled so that we can take it out. Nearly 60% of the world's petroleum is stored in the sandstone reservoir. Sandstone is a sedimentary rock, and most of the petroleum occurrence, near about 60% of the petroleum occurrence of the world is found in the sandstone reservoir. Clear now? Next, there are some other sources of energy like hydropower, geothermal energy, nuclear energy, solar energy and wind power. They are usually called as alternative sources of energy. Why? Because we don't have to depend upon completely coal or petroleum. That is why these things are called as alternative sources of energy. Solar and wind energy are renewable, or they are inexhaustible because they are not depleted by consumption. Solar energy will never exhausted. Wind energy also will never exhaust, so that they are known as renewable or inexhaustible energy. Okay, now we will learn about the distribution of conventional sources of energy. What are conventional sources of energy? The sources which will exhaust, which will be depleted after use, are called as conventional sources of energy. And mainly there are three conventional sources: coal, petroleum and natural gas. These three are the conventional sources of energy. Coal is the metamorphosed form of vegetation which got buried under the layers of rocks millions of years ago. For many millions years ago, the vegetation, the plants, they got buried under the different layers of the earth, and they have formed the rock there. They have sedimented upon the rocks, and they are converted as coal. Clear now? The quality of the coal. There are 4 different types of coal occur. Some are found in the upper layer, some are found in here at the lower, then to the lowest. In this way, there are 4 different varieties of coal which are occurred in the world, and they are peat, lignite, bituminous and anthracite. Okay, these 4 kinds have been named on the basis of the time they have taken to form. Clear now? Peat is the last one to be formed. So is that a good quality? No, it has very less amount of carbon and very high amount of water. As we move down, what will happen? The amount of carbon increases and the amount of water decreases. So as we move down, here we can see the good quality or the best qualities of coal. So can you tell me which is the best quality? Anthracite, the last one. Peat, then lignite, then bituminous, then anthracite. Clear now? Anthracite has more than 90% carbon. Bituminous has 70 to 90% carbon. Then lignite has 60 to 70% carbon, but peat has only 50 to 60% carbon. Clear now? Okay. So which is the best quality? It is anthracite, but we use bituminous largely because anthracite is very expensive. Okay, this is a map which shows the resources, the distribution of resources all over the world, that you can see and understand when you get the textbook. Okay, the world's largest coal reserves were formed about 300 million years ago. I told you earlier. The USA, followed by Russia, has nearly 1/3 of the world's coal deposits. USA and Russia. See which is coal? This is what coal. See the deposits, where are it? It is there. Most of the coal deposits are in Russia and in USA. See, most of the coal deposits occur in USA and Russia. China, South Africa, Canada, Germany, India and Australia are the other countries with large reserves. All these countries share 90% of the coal to the world. And China and USA, then former Soviet Union, which is that Russia, today is Russia, India, South Africa, Australia, Poland, United Kingdom, Germany, etc. are the major contributors of coal to the world. In our country also, coal deposits are there. See, the Deccan Plateau, the eastern part of the Deccan Plateau, we can find coal. Where are they? What are the states? Jharkhand, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh are the leading producers, and lignite, that particular variety of coal, occurs in some parts of Tamil Nadu also. Particularly Neyveli is a place in Tamil Nadu where it occurs. Next is petroleum. Petroleum means oil produced from the rocks. What is petroleum? The oil which we produce from the rocks is called petroleum. It is very much useful than coal as a source of energy. It is widely used in driving automobiles. Where do we use petroleum? For our vehicles. And there are some other uses also for petroleum. There are different varieties of items can be produced from petroleum, like gasoline, petrol, kerosene, diesel, wax. These all are derived from petroleum when it is refined. Petroleum is in its crude form, it occurs in the earth. Okay, it is a very dark colored, very thick liquid. Okay, and that is refined in the oil refineries, and we can get the byproducts, these byproducts of petroleum. Petroleum is also known as crude oil or mineral oil. Clear now? Most of this petroleum that occurs in sedimentary rocks. Okay, it occurs in the sedimentary rock, and most of the oil reserves are located in offshore areas. Offshore area means just nearer to the sea or in the sea they occur. Petroleum reserves occur there. Have you understood? Okay, see, in almost all the territories we can see that they are occur nearer to the oceans. Very less amount of petroleum is occupied in the inlands. Clear now? Okay, moving ahead now. Now let us see the worldwide distribution of petroleum. It is about 1 trillion barrels. Okay, nearly 2/3 of this reserves occurs in the Persian Gulf and in the surrounding area. This one, 2/3 of the petroleum reserves occurs in the Gulf countries. Clear? Okay, and the leading producer is Saudi Arabia. Then it also occurs in USA, Russia, Venezuela, Mexico, Libya, Nigeria also. These countries supply near about 90% of the world's total petroleum. Okay. Now we will learn the petroleum reserves in India. The oldest petroleum reserves in India is located in Assam. Digboi is the place, the mine, the well, oil field there, but they have been almost depleted. Now we have got new reserves in Gujarat and Maharashtra. They are also important contributors. In Gujarat there is a place Angaleshwar. Then in Maharashtra there is a offshore Mumbai High. You might have heard about it now. In the sea, in the Arabian Sea, we find petroleum that is known as Mumbai High. Okay. Then Gulf of Khambat in Gujarat, Bombay High and offshore area in the Arabian Sea are the major oil producers in India. Some oil is also found in the Krishna Godavari Delta also. In the East India also we can find some reserves of petroleum. Clear now? Okay. Moving ahead now to the next one, that is hydroelectricity. The energy from flowing water is obtained by using turbines. What do? We use the flowing water, particularly the falling water from the great height. Water is allowed to fall, that is known as waterfall from the dams. Yes or no? That is not waterfall actually. From the dams have been constructed at great height, and that water in the dam is allowed to fall down, flow down, and on the way turbines have been fixed, and the turbine produces electricity from that force of running water, that is known as hydroelectricity. Okay, it has been successfully harnessed since very long. From the 18th century onwards, we had different hydel power plants in various parts of the world, in USA and in different parts of Europe. Okay. This hydel power is getting a lot of importance these days because water is an inexhaustible resource which will not be exhausted, it will not be depleted, it can clean, it is a clean energy because it does not pollute the environment. Nothing has been produced there, only the turbine is rotated, we don't emit any smoke there, so it is eco-friendly and it is cheap also. No transportation charge is needed because we don't have to transport water from one place to another. No, nothing. It is very cheap. It is the cheapest method of producing electricity, and its transmission through wires make it easily available to houses and mills. How do we transport it? How do we transmit it? Through the wires, grid. Okay, it cannot be stored for the future. There is a problem. This electricity cannot be stored for the future. So the market should be readily available for its consumption. Whatever amount of energy is produced, that amount has to be transmitted also. So it should be ready for consumption. Large amount of capital is required for making dams on rivers, fixing machines and turbines, and laying the transmission lines. These two are the negative sides of hydropower plants. Okay, number one, it cannot be stored for the future. Number two, capital investment is very high. Africa has the largest potential for hydroelectricity but has so far developed less than 1% of its potential. This is what potential energy. It has the potential to do, but it is not doing. Maybe it has been reserved for the future. Okay, developed countries like Sweden, Norway, Switzerland, Canada, USA, etc. have harnessed their water resources successfully. They have developed hydropower plants in all the rivers in these countries. India also a large number of hydropower plants are there. We are generating electricity by these hydropower plants. Examples are Bhakranangal, Hirakud, Rihan, Nagarjuna Sagar, Koina, etc. These are the examples of hydropower plants in our country. Clear now? There is a homework given here. You have to find out the names of the rivers on which these projects are hydropower plants are located. Right? Okay. Next is solar energy. What is solar energy? The energy which we get from the sun is called solar energy. It provides us a lot of heat and light, and it is considered that the solar energy of 10 weeks is equivalent to the energy stored in all known reserves of coal, oil and natural gas. Within 10 weeks, whatever the amount of solar energy is produced, that will be equal to the energy stored in all the other power plants. See, it has huge possibilities to trap the solar energy. Okay, it is the most widely available. Besides being an inexhaustible source of energy, it will not be depleted. Many countries use this energy for cooking and heating purposes, and there are some places where it is used for industrial activities also. What do we do to get solar energy? It can be trapped using solar collectors which can heat water for homes. It can be trapped. Solar collectors are there. These solar collectors trap the solar energy and we can use it as a water heater for the homes. Okay, and for hospitals, for some institutions also it can be used. Photovoltaic cells convert sunlight directly into electricity. What is the technology used there? Photovoltaic technology. This photovoltaic technology convert the sunlight into electricity. Clear now? Experiments are going on in different parts of the world to make solar energy efficient, more efficient and less expensive. You might have seen the solar panels now. It is there in our school also. It may be there in your locality also. It is little bit expensive, but compared to the other forms of energy, it is cheap. Okay. Japan, France, Germany, USA, Canada and India are producing photovoltaic cells in small quantities. They have to increase their production, then it will be popular. Clear now? Next we are moving to the next renewable source of energy, that is wind energy. Wind power has evolved over a long period of time. It has propelled ships as well as driven windmills to grind grain or pump water. Okay, this wind can be used for different activities. Recently, wind has been used to generate electricity. Previously, you have heard that no yacht. The sailors used to travel on the ships, in the direction of the wind. Yes. But now these days, this wind is used to produce electricity. The wind is used to produce electricity these days. The potential for wind energy is tremendous. However, there are problems in its use because it is highly variable in time, place and intensity. Everywhere in the world we cannot produce electricity, wind energy, but wherever it is possible, we can have a better future in wind energy. Our country also has huge potential to produce wind energy. Okay. Greatest potential for wind energy lies in the North American coastal areas, especially California. Okay, California is a state in USA. In Europe, Netherlands has used windmills for a long time. Denmark has several wind power units. China has ambitious plans to set up huge wind farms. They have plan. Okay, in India, Gujarat coast has few windmills, and the largest windmill of India is located in the state of Tamil Nadu, from Madura to Tirunelveli. From Madura to Tirunelveli is the largest windmill of India located. Okay, wind farm, that is known as wind farm. To next form of energy, that is geothermal energy. You can have a look here first of all. This is an geothermal electric plant. It is a natural surrounding. See, nothing else. Extra additions have been done in a very less quantity, isn't it? Yes. I'll teach you what is it. You can see smoke is going out. You may feel it, no? Okay, this is what I'm going to teach you. What is that? Geothermal energy is a heat generated by natural process occurring beneath the earth's surface. You had learned that under the earth's crust, what is the situation? Temperature is very high temperature is there. So what happens that the water being absorbed by the ground because of rain, during rainfall occurs, that water is absorbed to the crust. What happens to that water? That water is converted into gaseous form because of the extreme temperature in the earth's surface, in the earth's crust. And wherever it gets suitable opportunity, that gas, that steam comes out. This is not smoke, this is steam. Okay, and this steam is used to rotate the turbine. Turbines are rotated and we are able to produce electricity, that is called as geothermal energy. It was developed in Italy in the year 1904. Today there are more than 20 countries produce geothermal energy, like Russia, Japan, New Zealand, Iceland, Mexico, USA, etc. In our country also we are having a geothermal energy plant. Where is it? It is in Himachal Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir. Okay, Ladakh. It is Puga Valley in Ladakh and Parvati Valley in Himachal Pradesh. In these two valleys we are producing geothermal energy. Shall I continue? Yes. Nuclear energy. What is nuclear energy? It is the energy contained within the nucleus of the atom. And atom has nucleus, and that nucleus has energy. That energy is known as nuclear energy. It is released from the atom by the fission process. If the atom is split, we can get the inside energy, no? Yes, that is known as fission. That processing of splitting the atom is known as fission, nuclear fission. When nuclear fission occurs, the energy is released. That energy is known as, that energy is used to rotate the turbine and the electricity is produced. That electricity is known as nuclear energy. Got it now? And what do we use in the nuclear fission process? We use uranium. Uranium is and thorium. There are two important atomic minerals, uranium and thorium. Okay, its reserves are found in Australia, South Africa, Niger, then Brazil, Canada, USA, Namibia, France, Italy, India, Spain, Algeria, Gabon, Argentina, etc. There are large number of countries where nuclear energy is produced. The largest producer of uranium in the world is Canada. Okay, in our country, largest deposits of thorium occurs in Kerala, in the Malabar coast, in our country. Okay, then followed by Brazil and USA. Clear now? Yes. There are 30 countries of the world which are producing nuclear energy. USA, France, Germany, Russia, UK, South Korea, Ukraine, Sweden, Canada, Spain, Belgium, Japan, China, India, etc. are the major producers in the descending order. So the leading producer is USA. Have you understood? I think you got bored today. You got a lot to learn. Shall I wind up? Yes. Let us have a revision. What did we learn? What did we learn today? Have a revision now. What did we learn? We learned about energy resources, the three forms of energy, three ways in which we can obtain energy. Then we learned about distribution of the conventional sources of energy. What are the conventional sources? We discussed about coal, petroleum. Coal and petroleum are the conventional sources. Then we discussed about the non-conventional sources which will not exhaust. They are hydel power, solar energy, wind energy, then what was that? Geothermal energy and nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is considered as it will be exhausted. It is conventional because we are using a mineral to obtain the nuclear energy. That is why it is considered as a conventional source of energy. Clear now? Clear? Yes. So shall I wind up? Yes, it's the time to wind up. I'm signing off, but you have to learn it thoroughly. Okay, I'll meet again tomorrow with the remaining part of the chapter. Okay, as usual, you will stay home and stay safe and take care. Bye.